Hello, in this video workshop, you will be learning about screen recording. Screen recording is the process that I'm using right now to create this presentation. I am recording a PowerPoint, and as I'm recording the PowerPoint, I'm talking about it. There are many different things that you can screen record. You can screen record apps on an iPad, or anything that you do on an iPad, or really anything that you do on a computer screen. Whether you want to demonstrate how to do a math problem, or demonstrate how to submit something in Seesaw or Schoology, it can all be done using screen recording. In this video course, I have 3 segments. The first segment goes through a tool called Screencast-o-matic. That's a great tool for recording on your computer. It allows you to record anything that's on your screen. Everything that I do in this Screencast-o-matic sample was done using the free version of Screencast-o-matic. There is a paid version, but everything that you need to do can be done with that free version, in my opinion. The second segment of the video will be how to record using your iPad or iPhone. You can record the screen and demonstrate, as I mentioned earlier, how an app works, or just showing students how to do anything. The iPad is a great tool for demonstrating math problems because you can write with your finger or a stylus on the screen, and this segment will show you how to do that. And finally, the third segment is a PowerPoint segment. That's actually what I'm using right now, is the PowerPoint recording tools in PowerPoint 2019. This will demonstrate how you can use those tools to record a PowerPoint. When you finish watching those 3 segments, I suggest that you take some time to practice one or more of those tools mentioned in the video. This video course will be worth 30 minutes of professional development time, but the video is not 30 minutes long, so that'll leave you just a little bit of time to get in and start working on something. Just a few tips about screen recording before I let you get started with the how-to videos. Whenever you're doing a screen recording, my suggestion is that if you are creating a video, you make it not long. Students are not likely to sit and watch a 20-minute video. They are much more likely to watch a 2, 3, 4, 5-minute long video. It's better to have several short videos than one really long one. That's also helpful when you're making it, because if you make a mistake in a 20-minute video and you need to start over, that is a lot of re-recording that you need to do. Another tip is that when you're making a video using one of these tools, if you're making a 5-minute video, it should take you 5 to 10 minutes to make that video. 5 minutes to record it, and another 5 minutes to get started and get that video uploaded to YouTube when you're done. If you get really nitpicky, you can end up taking 5 hours to make a 5-minute video. So from my experience, and my advice is always save that first recording that you make. It often ends up being the best one. Don't worry too much if you make a mistake in your presentation, in your video. These are just for your students to watch. It's not it doesn't have to be professional quality for the rest of the world to see. You make mistakes in your class, it's okay to make a mistake in a video as well. So keep that in mind. Don't get too hung up on those mistakes, and you can pretty quickly make some really nice instructional videos. Okay, so go ahead and watch the series of 3 videos in this workshop. When you finish, my learning plan will automatically give you credit, but I would like you to go and spend a little bit of time with whatever time you have left to try to get started in one of these tools to just get a feel for how it works. Thank you.
Hello, this is Darren Keel from the Technology Department. Today I'd like to show you how to use a tool called Screencast-o-matic. It's actually a website that you can go to that will allow you to record your computer screen. We'll go over some helpful uses for this in some later videos, but for now I just want to show you how to use the basics of the tool. So to access Screencast-o-matic, you're just going to a website. I'm in the Chrome browser, but you could really be in any web browser. And you just look up Screencast-o-matic. And you don't have to type it in perfectly, but it's used typically the top choice in your list. And here we go, Screencast-o-matic. And it'll take you to this website. And to launch the recorder, you simply hit Start Recording for free. And then you hit Launch Recorder. The first time you do this, and maybe other times also, you might get a download in the bottom left that you have to click on, or something that pops up like this that you have to hit Open Screen Recorder Launcher. Depending on what browser you're in, you might see a different message, but look for something like this and say yes or hit Open. Then just give it a second and the recorder will launch. As you can see, you have varying options here on what you can record. Right now, I have this set to record both the screen and the webcam. If I choose screen, it's just recording the screen and of course my voice. If I choose webcam, then you get to see me. If I choose both, then you get to see both the screen and a small picture of yourself in the corner. As you can see, the maximum time you're allowed to record is 15 minutes for the free version. You can change the size of your screen. I have mine set to full screen. You can choose varying sizes. You see how when I pick the smaller version, I can then just focus in on part of the screen if you want to cut out some distractions. Like if I didn't want them to see my menu bars up there or my favorites, I could cut that out and just focus in on the part of the screen that I want to record. But because I'm demoing this, I want you guys to see everything. So I'm going to put this back on full screen. Another important option here is narration. I'm just using the built-in microphone on the laptop to narrate, but you could click on this. If you had a headset plugged in with a microphone, you could choose that from the list. You can also then, once you choose it, it will come up and it'll let you do a quick audio test where you can test the recording options, and it's also just testing my voice and making sure that it's not too soft or not too loud. And when you're ready to go and you're ready to record something, you just hit the record button. So I'm going to hit record. It'll count down. And now it's recording. So everything that I'm doing on my screen, it's recording. I can choose to open up a PowerPoint or a smart notebook file or a Sway or a web page or really a Word document, anything, and explain it to my students. It's, a very quick and easy way to explain how to do something or what to do or give directions, and it gives that personal touch of having your voice. And if you choose, it can also have your picture, your video of you in the corner. When you're done, you simply hit the pause button and you hit done. If you mess up, you can hit the trash can and start over. But my advice is, generally the first time I record one of these is the best. I've gotten in the habit of always saving the first recording. If it didn't go that great, sometimes I'll try to record again, but often I just go back to the first one and use it. You don't want to end up spending hours making a 5-minute video. In my opinion, you should spend 5 minutes making a 5-minute video and just get the content to your students, unless you really mess up, and then of course you can start over. But when you're done, you hit done, and it'll ask you what you want to do. You can't edit the video in the free version. You just have to hit the save button and hit save as video file. Leave the type as an MP4. You can change the file name by simply clicking on it and just typing in the file name that you would like it to be. I'm just going to call that test recording, and you can choose where you want that to save. Either it defaults to the desktop. You could browse and find a folder in your OneDrive by clicking on this PC. Oh, sorry, there I went to the desktop there. You can get to the OneDrive, and then you can pick the folder that you would like to save it in. I have a folder called My Videos, and I'll just save it in there for now. And it'll show you then you're saving it to My Videos, and when I hit publish, depending on how long the video is, this might take a moment. I made a pretty short 30-second video, so it won't take long. And when it's done, you can preview the video. And now it's recording. So everything that I'm doing on my screen, so you can see there that this recorded everything was on my screen. It also had me in the bottom corner. One little tip, first time, I actually did make this video twice, because the first time my camera on my laptop has a little cover for the camera that slides over, and I went to record and it did not have me recorded because the cover was over the camera. So I fixed that, and I noticed that early on and started over. But it's done now, so I could take that and I could upload it to wherever I want to put it. Schoology would be a great choice of a location to stick this recording. So that's how you use the Screencast-o-matic tool, and I'll probably be making another video or so giving some examples of using that and how you might use that with your students if you have to do some online instruction. Thank you. Hello, today I'd like to show you how to use the screen recording tool on your iPad. First, you have to check and make sure the screen recording tool is added to your control center. To do that, simply go into Settings, find Control Center, and look up here. If you see screen recording, then it's already included in your control center. If not, find the screen recording tool in the bottom, hit the plus sign, and it adds it up here to the tools that are included. Then close Settings. Now you access the screen recording tool by pulling down your control center in the top corner. Right here is the recording tool. Simply hold your finger on that for a moment and it will allow you to turn the microphone on. Oops. That will also record your voice now while you're recording. Okay, so to do a screen recording then, once that's on, again you access from the control center, you tap this, it'll count down 3, 2, 1, and as soon as you see that in the top corner, it's recording everything you do. So you could now have your Sway open on your iPad or your PowerPoint or whatever you want to talk about, and you can record audio over top of it and record your presentation. When you're done, you simply tap up here in the corner on the red spot and it will stop recording. It takes that recording and it sticks it into your iPad's photo roll. So I can go here, and this is the recording now, and I can play that back, listen to it, and turn it into my teacher.
Hello, in this video I would like to show you how to use PowerPoint's built-in screen recording tools. The version of PowerPoint that I'm using is Microsoft PowerPoint 2019. These features are available in older versions of PowerPoint, but the things look a little different and work a little differently. And of course, it will likely be available in future versions. But again, I'm using 2019 right now to demonstrate this. Now, I have created a very simple PowerPoint. Please don't judge the PowerPoint. I just threw this together to give me something to talk about. I have Darren's Cookie Company. To do a recording of this, I will use the slideshow menu, and I'll hit Record Slideshow. And as you can see, it switches screens, and I now have a video in the corner. I have some tools to write with down here at the bottom, and some recording and setting tools up here. So let's just begin. So when I'm ready to start recording my slideshow, I'll hit the record button. It will count down. It's using my computer's camera to record me down in the corner. If I'd like to, I could turn that on and off by hitting this little person to make me disappear and come back. So that's kind of nice if this is covering up part of your PowerPoint and you don't want that there. When I'm ready to go to the next slide, I simply hit the next arrow here, and what it's doing is it's recording my video and audio and attaching it to this slide of the PowerPoint. As you can see, I've talked for 30 seconds about this slide, and now when I move to the next slide, the overall timer keeps going down here in the bottom left, but this is my current slide. So I can talk about my chocolate chip cookies and how great they are. Whenever you switch slides, you have two options. You could pause the video up here and then switch the slide, or you can just hit this and it will go to the next slide. Now, I recommend, if you're using the option, just to go right through your PowerPoint and keep talking. Between slides, take a second to pause. So I just counted the 1 or 2 in my head. And the reason I do that is I've noticed from experience that it tends to have a brief break in the audio when you switch slides. So take a breath and wait a second when you switch those sides. Now, let me go to one. Well, suppose I make a mistake on this slide. If I want to, I could stop the recording, and I can go up here to this clear option, and I can clear the recording on all slides. That means I'm starting completely over, or I can I said that backwards, clear the recording on the current slide, and that is just this one I'm working on right now, or the bottom option, which is all slides, and that means I'm starting this whole presentation over. So you have both options. If I use this one a lot when you make a mistake on one slide. This is one advantage of using PowerPoint over something like Screencast-o-matic. In Screencast-o-matic, it's sort of an all or nothing thing. You either did it all right, or if you make a mistake, you have to edit that out or start over. With this, if you make a mistake on one slide, you have the option of clearing the current slide and just doing that one piece again. So I am going to hit record and start recording again and go to my last slide here. And on my last slide, I just have a sales report here, and I just wanted to show you could grab some tools from the bottom here and pick some colors and, you know, circle things or highlight them. There's a pen, a highlighter, and an eraser. So you have those options with varying colors down here. So after you're done, of course, you'll stop the video. If you're happy with your recording, this is a little bit weird, but if you're happy with the recording, you hit the X up here, which feels a little unnatural, but trust me, it's what you want to do. It closes the recording tool. You're back to your PowerPoint. Now, those recordings are still attached to these slides. If I went back to slide recording, I could work on it more, clear out a slide if I'm not happy with it. But ultimately, let's assume that I'm happy with this and I'm all ready to be done. So first thing I would do is save this. So I'll just save the PowerPoint to wherever I want to save that. Let's just save it to my desktop for now. And there's Cookie Company PowerPoint. Then, after I have my PowerPoint saved, I would like to turn this into a video. Currently, what I have is just a PowerPoint with audio recordings. You can't upload that to YouTube or anything like that. You need to actually convert this over to a video. To do that, you click on File, then you choose Export, and you make sure you're on this Create a Video tab. You have several options here about the quality of the video. I usually choose Full HD, and of course you can go higher if you want to, or lower if you want this to be a faster process. And you have options of using the timings and recorded timings and narrations, or don't use them. Well, you just spent that time making them, so one would assume that you're going to use them. And then you hit Create Video. And choose a location to save this. Again, I'll go to my desktop. And you can see down here in the bottom, there will be a progress bar that shows this is converting over to an MP4 from the PowerPoint with the recordings to an MP4. So this will take a moment, so I'm going to pause the video and I'll be back with you to show you what I end up with. All right, so I'm back. That finished that process of converting that to a video. So now on my desktop, I have this PowerPoint, which if I need to go back and make changes and re-record something, I can have that saved. But ultimately, I have this video, which is my final product of me talking with me in the corner. And I can take this video, upload it to YouTube, or post it wherever I want. All right, thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps you learn how to make a video using the tools built into PowerPoint. Thank you. Thank you for taking this screen recording workshop. Hopefully learning about Screencast-o-matic, recording on the iPad, and using the PowerPoint recording tools is helpful for you. Hopefully you can create some great instructional videos for your students to help them out this year and in years to come. Again, I asked you at the beginning of this workshop if you have any extra time to fill in the rest of this half hour to go and dabble with one of these tools and get a little bit of a start and maybe jump right into it with your first screen recording. When you finish your screen recording, I suggest you upload that to YouTube. If you're unfamiliar with how to do that, look for a training on that as well in my learning plan, and you can learn how to use YouTube to post your videos. Okay, thank you very much.